Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Racing for a Cause TV. I'm your host, Chris, and with me, as always, Rick Hammond Jr. Here we are tonight, South Boston. Rick, how you doing?
I'm doing fabulous, Chris. Hopefully you're doing good too. South Boston Wednesday night under the lights, 150 laps. I am ready.
I'm ready too, bud. And hey, listen, we're getting ready to go into qualifying already, so kind of timed this one pretty well. I'm gonna take a very quick break. Unfortunately, it looks like I have an issue with some camera angles. I got to get that fixed up, and we'll be bringing you the action. So while we do that, let's take a look at the Dog Days 250 commercial. I don't know what's going on, but okay, so we are definitely having some issues here. I think it's something to do with that new update. Give me a minute, guys. We're going to fix it up before we come back to the action. Hopefully we catch the green flag. Okay, well, we're going to find out if that's fixed. Unfortunately, we're going to find out as the race happens. So, we're going to get ready to go. I may have to, well, we'll get through it. We're going to get through it one way or another if I have to do it during a caution. But it don't matter. We're going to get through as soon as these guys are done with their meeting. And, yeah. So you see some qualifying times there, which looks like we're getting ready to go live right now to the grid.
Yep, the guys are definitely gridding up Chris right now. It looks like Justin McDuff did not make qualifying along with number 61 Jason Perry and Dave Bachman in the 84.
And that is too bad, but there's only so much room on these tracks. Okay, Rick, I think I've got it good enough for right now. We're going to get it going with the grid, my friend. You bring it on.
All right, well, tonight's Bull Award goes to Sean Cole in the number 2 machine. Brian Hacker is in second. Chris Mefford in third. Chase Swafford in fourth. Nikki Z in the 93 fifth. T. Roy Radford sixth. AJ Rogers seventh. Steve Baker in the 55 machine qualified eighth. AJ Hamill in the 14 machine qualified ninth. Rounding out top 10 is the 34 of Tom Quattlebaum Jr. Then we have Al Smith Jr. in the 02. Andy Lambert in the 35 and 12th. Brian Rogers Jr. in 13th, Jason Fluffy Garrett in 14th, Rowdy Johnson in 15th, Patrick Backpack McSwain Smith in 16th in that 75 machine, Chris Rummel in the 52 qualified 17th, Peyton Johnson in the 85 machine qualified 18th, Stacy Bedard in the 03 19th, Rick Greenaway 20th, Phil Otto in the 66 machine qualified 21st, and we have Gio Watson in 22, and looks like that might be it. JP is back there somewhere.
Okay, here we go. We are getting ready to go 150 laps around South Boston. I think all of the little quirks are worked out. And here we go, Sean Cool leading them down to the start. Just like that, caution's out. Wow. Was that an admin caution, Rick?
Yes, it was. Andy Lambert, our race official tonight, has thrown the caution flag just to make sure that everybody can get where they need to be here.
Okay. That's what I thought. It was just too quick to be anything else. A lot of cars on the track. This one's going to be very, very tough, both for Rick and I as commentators. It's going to be really tough on the admin. Andy Lambert has his work cut out for him tonight. And I'm thinking Rick probably has an open channel, so he can probably help out Andy tonight. Getting these cars sorted up. Well, it's not too soon. Thank you to all the viewers out there. Really appreciate you coming out. Almost reaching a new milestone. Very, very close to 150 subs. If you're here watching us right now and you haven't done it, that little red subscribe button down on the bottom right-hand side of the video, go ahead and press that for us. We'd really appreciate it. Really trying to get there before the Dog Days 250. That's August 3rd and 4th at Bristol International Speedway. And that's going to be a great event. Going to be some super late models going on at Bristol. It's going to be a money race. Money for the top three. Money to the charities of the top three. So really looking forward to bringing that action. Also, if you do have iRacing and you care to join, feel free to go on over to racing4acause.com. That's racing, the number 4acause.com, and check it out. Get signed up. It's $10 to enter, $5 to the winner's pot, $5 to the charity pot, and we'll get you an invite to that race. That's going to be really awesome. And again, August 3rd and 4th, Bristol International Speedway. A lot of cars out there tonight, and we haven't even begun. I think that was a good call from Andy, though, just to try and get the field straightened out. And here we go. And you see Brian Hacker, he let up a little bit because Sean Cool was actually your pole award winner, and somehow he had gotten around him. So Brian Hacker, real nice sportsmanship there. And we are under yellow again. Rick. Was that? I don't even know. Too many cars right now. I don't see anybody in trouble.
No, it was another one that was another admin throwing a caution flag. iRacing is having some issues, I guess.
All right, well, this has got to get sorted out. I don't want to run all 150 under caution, but I do want a good start. We deserve to have that. The drivers deserve to have that for coming out on a Wednesday night, and so do our fans. So really hope that that happens here. We'll get that straightened right out.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on, Chris, but they are saying that, I don't know if it's delayed greens or what's going on.
Well, Andy already earning every penny. And by that I mean we don't pay him. So Andy earning every penny tonight, trying to get this race started and to try and get it started the right way. Once we do get running, man, we have a ton of cars out there. We had 27 show up. Only a top 24 are able to continue on, though. These short tracks, they're fun to watch, but they do limit how many drivers we can have out there safely. So it's a tough call. We want everybody to be able to race, and sometimes we just can't do that and give a good show. So I think it's the fair thing to do. And 24 drivers, that's a lot of cars. When you consider just a couple of seasons ago, we started racing for a cause with 9 drivers, and right now we have to send people home because we have too many. It's a pretty nice problem to have. All right, looks like we are going 2 by 2 again. Looks like we have a much better lineup on the field. This could be it. This could be the actual start, the one we've been waiting for. Look at all those cars cycling through. But Sean Cool in the 2 is in control. Green flag called, and Sean takes off. Sean Cool in the number 2. Brian Hacker on the outside in the 11. And this race is officially green. Took a little while to get there, but I think it was worth the wait. You see the cars piling into the corners. Awesome so far.
Somebody there in the back, Chris, was sliding around into the pit entrance there. Not exactly sure what happened there. No caution came out, though.
That's good. I'd hate to see a caution so soon after just getting the field running.
Looks like it might have been the 34, Tom Quattlebaum Jr.
Tommy Q having a little issue. Oh yeah, 45 car. 45 car is Doug Wasaki. We saw that motor going up. Sean Cool in that number 2 is leading the way. Brian Hacker in the 11 right behind him. And Chris Medford in the 44. Doing a good job back in 3rd. Right behind him, his teammate and friend, Troy Radford in the 94, peeking to the inside, looking to take a position away from Chris Medford. Chris Medford able to power off from the corner, but the inside line is the way to go. You see Troy Radford get a little bit tight, had to get on those brakes. Right behind Troy, the Nicky Z in the 93, looking good in that pink and black car. And behind him, the 55 car, Steve Baker. Behind Steve Baker, you have the 73 car. That's Jason Garrett, affectionately known as Fluffy. Chase Swafford in the 38, running 8th position right now. Chris Rummel in the 52, running 9th. And Fat Pat McSwain, that 75 car, running in the top 10. So the pace is actually pretty good now that the flag is the right color. Green flag racing is where it's at. And South Boston providing all the excitement tonight here. And you know, we haven't even talked about the weather. Let's take a peek. Yeah, 85 degrees air temperature, 85 degrees track temperature. I'm sure that's working its way up. Humidity of 78%. I think you're going to find that these cars start to tighten up as this track goes on. Ricky, what are you watching back there, bud?
Right now I'm watching the number 60 of Justin J.P. Penuel on the 60 machine. He's working his way up from the 14th position, trying to get around Al Smith Jr. in that 02. And we also have the 10 of Brian Rogers Jr. that I'm watching. They're all kind of nose to tail right now, Chris. Just trying to put these laps down, see what happens here.
Yeah, the JP section in the audience is a little silent so far, but there he is in that 60 car running the Spina Bifida car. Looking good out there, JP. Just keep your patience up there. A lot of nice looking cars out there tonight. Some new guys out there tonight. Oh, the 60 and the 2 get together. Oh, the 2 takes a hard shot. Actually popped his motor right at as the entrance of pit road. You saw it right there. JP forced to come down pit road. He's going to go down laps, I believe, as this race stays under green. JP is going to definitely go down some laps there. Tough break for the 60 machine. And right now, Sean Cool under a little pressure from Brian Hacker in the 11.
Both the 2 and 11 know really how to get around this track, Chris. It's going to be a good battle for them probably most of the night there, unless something serious happens. But right now, Sean Cool is able to hold off Brian Hacker in that 11 machine.
Looking back a little ways, it wasn't too long ago, Troy Radford was peeking on the inside of the 44 of Mefford. Right now, Mefford stretched it out a little bit. Troy maybe saving tires for a little bit later, falling back just a touch. Nicky Z in the 93, dealing with lap traffic. Justin Pinnell goes to the outside and passes him cleanly. And the 73 car, that's Jason Garrett trying to get around as well. Almost trying to use him as a pick. So JP's got his work cut out for him. He is laps down. He doesn't want to get in the way of the racing, but trying to figure out a way to get to the outside, he finally does. And Jason Garrett gets around, and right behind him, Steve Baker is going to be coming around. So good job, JP. Way to find a line to get to the outside. Very nice driving. Up front, Sean Cool in that 2 car, still there. Brian Hacker still trying to put the pressure on. Back a ways now. So they have stretched it out. Chris Mefford and Troy Radford, teammates working together, trying to catch the leaders. And we'll go back to 10th place and take a look back there. That's a beautiful looking Mountain Dew car. Brian Rogers Jr. And running 11th, Andy Lambert. And that 35 car, the 52 of Chris Rummel. Heading to the outside of JP. A little bit of damage on the front end of that 52, trying to get around him right now. Then we have the old STP car, the 03 of Stacy Bedard. Pat Smith in 75 falls back. Well, actually just got 12th place over Rick Greenaway. So Pat Smith over the 24 car right now. Pat Smith running 12th. Rick Greenaway running 13th in the 24 car. Peyton Johnson, the 85 car. I forget the order it is in. Is it Love, Peace, and Bacon Grease? Yes. Caution's out. We saw that happen right there. So we were talking about Peyton.
Make sure you're getting yourself something to drink there, buddy.
Peyton's mom actually designed that car for him, Chris. It's something that his dad says to his mom all the time, as we know. There's a little bit of funness in that family, and it's a really good paint job. She did a really good job. I want to say congratulations. It really looks sharp out there on the track, especially under these lights.
Yeah, it's a sharp looking car. You're absolutely right. And it looked like the car that got in trouble, Rick Greenaway, looks like the car got a little loose off and right into the wall he goes. That's a motor. So if you've got hot dogs and hamburgers, go down the 24 pit. He'll be looking to cook them up for you. That 24 car, unfortunate for him. His teammates, Chris Mefford and T-Roy Radford in the race, up closer to the front, but it looks like they've come into pit. Or have they? Yes. Yep, they did come in pit, so. Well, hopefully Greeny's night isn't done in that 24 car, but whenever you see the motor up like that, it's not a good sign.
So I just want to give a shout out to all our viewers, especially the guys in chat. UI Dave's, or IU Dave's here. Good to see you tonight, Kendra. Howdy. Mr. Perry, see you. Your beautiful wife's out there also. Of course, they're all Team 60 there, so JP's got a little bit of work to do, but he'll be all right. He's got a lot of laps left to go. We're only on lap 38 right now, 150. So Laura's out there. Good to see you also. And I see that there's a little bit of confusion. So basically, what happened is we had 27 drivers that showed up. The top 10 in our points of the standings are automatically locked in. So that only left a few a few spots for guys to make it in on qualifying. And the way that it worked, unfortunately, we had to send a couple of guys home. It's unfortunate. It is something that we're looking at for next season. So, we got a little bit of work to do and figure out, but we got some plans. So, really good to see you guys, though. Thank you for coming out. All the viewers who are not active in chat and just watching. I know my dad's probably watching, my neighbors are probably watching, and a few other people. So I just want to say thank you for coming out on this Wednesday night to watch us go around South Boston. It was a little bit of a rough start, but it seems that the servers are starting to clear up a little bit, so we should be good.
Yeah, always trouble when it's the week of an update, and it kind of bit us in the behind tonight. But let's take a peek up front, because on the inside, front row, you have Brian Hacker. Outside, Andy Lambert. Inside, second row, Fat Pat McSwain. Outside, second row, Phil Otto. Jeff Watson running fifth right now. AJ Rogers, sixth. Peyton Johnson in the 85. Love, peace, and bacon grease all the way. Running seventh. Nikki Z in the 93. Running in eighth place right now. T. Roy Radford, who did not come down to pit, so I don't know why he got shuffled back like that. But Troy Radford, ninth. Jason Garrett, teammate of Troy Radford, running 10th. AJ Hamill, 11th. And your leader before that caution was waived, Sean Cool in the 2-car, running 12th. We go back green flag racing. Brian Hacker up front. Andy Lambert trying to figure out if he can get down into the groove. You saw his car push just a little bit right there, but it looks like Pat Smith gave him some room to come back down. Again, that car floats up to about second lane. Andy Lambert having trouble, and we are under caution again.
All right, buddy, you had a couple laps by yourself there. How'd it feel?
Looks like that was the 85 and the 94, maybe.
Let's take a peek.
No, 73.
85 and
right
73.
Now, JP is running in 15th place, Kendra.
Yeah, 85-73 collects Troy Radford in the 94. Not a lot of serious damage, though. I think all three of those cars are going to be able to continue on, no problem. Short track racing right there. And it definitely happens. And I just realized my chat was not updating. Well, so more issues tonight.
We definitely have some big movers, Chris. Gio Watson there in the number 51 machine qualified 22nd. He's sitting in 4th right now. Fat Pat McSwain in the 75 qualified 16th. He's in 3rd right now. So these guys are starting to move up. Andy Lambert in the 35 started 12th. He is currently sitting in 2nd place. Brian Hacker retakes the lead there.
Yeah, Brian Hacker had a really nice start. That last restart. Andy Lambert was running real tight. He was pushing up halfway through the turn. That was allowing Fat Pat McSwain, to try and get underneath. He was giving some room, though. Pretty courteous driving early on in the race. Well, only lap 47 of 150, so we got a long way to go.
Ready, green flag, green flag.
Yeah, and you see the very obvious issues that we're having. You heard the spotter.
Caution,
Ooh, Steve
Come
Baker
on.
just went around there on the restart there, Chris.
Some like a protein.
That's why. Oh boy.
Oh, no, it might not have been Steve Baker. It was another black car there in the back.
Okay, let's see if we can find it here.
Looks like it might have been the 38 of Chase Swafford.
Oh yeah, that car is not handling properly. Let's take a peek. And that didn't catch enough of it. So here comes the 38 car. On the restart. He takes off. Or they're still getting in line here, I'm sorry. So it looks like the 10 car on the inside of the 38. Behind him, Mefford. In front of him, Steve Baker. So let's find out what happens to Chase here in the 38. Oh, looks like he just got touched a little bit with the 52 car. And around he goes. So Chase Swafford in the pits.
These cars are definitely tight, Chris, and that's exactly what happens there. If you get on the gas just a little bit too much, it's going to move you right around. And unfortunately, Chase got bumped by Chris Rummel in the 52.
And Kendra, we're absolutely excited to be able to do that. And while part of me hopes that JP does crack the top 5, doing so would mean he's not running that car anymore. So, kind of torn there. But I do appreciate you guys coming out. Really, I do. Spina bifida is something that, yeah, you're right. Not a lot of people talk of it. So, and yeah, Rob, 1/3 of the race is done. And to be honest, while we're under green flag, it's been some pretty good racing. A little give and take, some patience, some restart difficulties tonight. And some of that has to do with the server. And some of it, yeah, probably a little not enough give and take going on. But pace car lights are off. We're going to start crossing the cars over, getting ready to go green flag racing again. And man, I can't wait to do it. Your inside row, first 2 rows, you have Brian Hacker, Andy Lambert on the outside, Fat Pat McSwain in the 75 car, and AJ Rogers in the 12. There's your top 4 getting ready to do battle. Brian Hacker in the 11. Another very nice restart. And Pat Smith able to take over second place and hold on to it.
Got a really good battle going on with the 35 right now, Chris. He is trying to hold off AJ Rogers, trying to take over that 3rd spot right now. They were almost getting ready to go 3 wide there with Nicky Z in the 93 looking to do that, but he got a little bit wise and decided just to fall in behind and see what happens there.
Rob, I'm seeing your comment, only 16 green flags, but that's not true. We've had 23 caution laps. 9 of them were at the very beginning of the race when the field was not setting properly, and that was due to iRacing. So if we take that away from that, we've got 14 caution laps out of 58. I would say that's a pretty good green flag run that we had there.
Chris Hummel, the 52, went way up towards that outside wall, Chris. Right now he's sitting there. His car's tight. He's going to be bounced around there right now. Yep.
Pretty cool watching these cars go around. Another good green flag run going so far. Brian Hacker, your man up front in the 11 car, looking very good. Fat Pat McSwain putting the pressure on, but here comes a caution. Caution is out.
I'm trying to find it here, Chris. I'm seeing the 52 Chris Rummel blinking, but I'm not sure that was the cause of the caution. No, it looks like the 2 of Brian Cool and 44 Chris Mefford got together there, Chris.
Sean Cool on pit road right now. And the 44 was able to maintain out on track. Don't see a ton of damage there. Must have been a very, very light contact. Rob, no quick fixes. The only time we run a quick fix is if we're on a super speedway. Obviously, the late models aren't super speedway cars, so the only time you'll see those are Daytona Talladega over on Monday night, the K&N Throwback Series. But other than that, yeah, no quick fixes. You got to try and take care of your stuff and try and get through it. Man, look at the good-looking cars out there, though. There are some very nice-looking cars out there tonight.
Yeah, I've noticed a few drivers are running different paints. Brian Hacker is in that beautiful ASPCA, the Beagle's voice car, something that he is very close with there. I think that's a really great, it's a Beagle Freedom project. I guess what he was saying before when we got a chance to interview him is that Beagles are one of the top rated breeds that are used for testing in science. So that's pretty cool. Patrick Smith, Pat McSwain, that 75, he's using the Missouri Conservation car that I made him, painted him. Missouri Department of Conservation. Looks like we got Team Pink there, Nicky Z in the 93. Got a lot of great causes out here on these cars. One of my favorite ones there is the number 14 of AJ Hamill. I'm sure that's one of yours too. That's the American Diabetes Association car, Chris.
Yeah, of course, that one rings true to me, and we are getting ready to go green flag racing. Brian Hacker explodes out of the gate. Definitely taking the lead. Nicky Z in the 93 trying to follow suit as he gets around Pat Smith. Pat Smith, no place to go right now, stuck on the outside. Pat looking to try and get down into the lane, trying to maintain third place, and it looks like he's going to be able to do that. AJ Hamill in the 14. Looks like he's trying to get around the 12 car of AJ Hamill. So we got two AJs, fourth and fifth. You'll have to excuse me if I mess up which one is which. The 14 car, AJ Hamill, that's the white one. AJ Rogers looks like he's starting to fall back. That outside line, not producing results. And you see right there, the big one. Got another one. We're going to take a peek at that one. And we're going to watch it from Andy Lambert's perspective, the 35 car. Although it was in front of him when it happened. Yeah. We're going to take that back just another 10 seconds or so and see if we can find that again. So we're going to watch Jason Garrett in the 73. The 55 moves up, gets a little tight. 73 kind of gets into the back of the 14. 55 into the wall. A lot of things happening all at once right there. So we go back live. Brian Hacker up front. Nicky Z in the 93 running second. And Pat Smith in the 75 car going to be running third. Looks like Peyton Johnson looking to try and get a lap back as he goes around the pace car. And that's where we stand right now.
Chris and I will be back in the booth there Friday night with the TRRL. That is the Thunder Road Racing League. We're going to be doing some laps down in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's going to be a good race there. We just finished up Monday with the K&N series here at Racing for a Cause at Talladega, which was a fabulous race. If you guys haven't had a chance yet, look back in the playlist under the K&N series and watch that race. It was a fabulous race. We got a lot of views on that one. It was a really good race. Next Monday, the K&N stars are going to be heading to Charlotte Motor Speedway. So that's going to be another good one, Chris. Got some good races coming up here.
Yeah, when we say K&N throwback, what we really mean to say is we are following the schedule from race 1 all the way through. We're going to do the weather that happened that season. So, if Daytona was 80 degrees, then that's what we set it for. So everything is a throwback. There's some really cool throwback paint schemes that are happening. And I think most importantly, the racing has been just phenomenal. The guy's doing a very good job in that series. For the first time out with those K&N cars, real fun to watch. But we're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Your leader, Brian Hacker, sets the pace. And it looks like Nicky Z in the 93 spun his tires a little bit on the outside. The 75 kind of got into Hacker just a little bit as he tried to jump the start. But it's going to be Hacker, Nicky Z, and Pat Smith. Your top 3 when they come out that way. Jason Garrett running back there for 4th place over AJ Rogers in the 12 car. Has the preferred line, trying to stay down. Gets a little bit below that yellow line. That could be dangerous. And you see, he definitely loses it a little bit after he comes up on track. So, got to be very careful when you put those left side tires.
That's very true. Just like most of the short track racing, we just saw Nicky Z in the 93 got a little bit loose as he went really deep into that corner, Chris, trying to get past Brian Hacker and the caution zone.
Caution's out, trying to figure out why. No clue. Lap 80 of 150, 70 to go. South Boston definitely providing a lot of excitement tonight. Six lead changes, 8 cautions. 3 of those cautions were actually admin thrown, so it should be 5 cautions. And that's 5 cautions for 25 laps right now. I know what it says up top, but I'm trying to keep a running tally in my head.
All right, that caution came out, Chris, on the number 38 of Chase Swafford there. Him and the 55 of Steve Baker got together at lap 77.
Okay, so there you go. Steve Baker looked like he's been in a couple. Hopefully this car can continue on. You know he's fast, but it's a lot of work passing on this track. You have to do it on the inside. Do want to mention again the Dog Days 250. That's coming at you live here on Racing for a Cause TV, August 3rd and 4th. I want to throw a special shout out to the guys over at the iRacing Today radio show. If you haven't listened to their podcast, man, they only do it once in a great while now. It used to be monthly. Now it's only once in a great while due to some scheduling conflicts. But the guys over there, Trevor Cameron and Chad, they do a fantastic job on that podcast, and we're very excited to say that Chad's actually going to be racing with us on the Dog Days 250, and we're trying to get Trevor to come up on the booth with us. I know he's broadcast a lot of races, so it'd be good experience for Rick and I both to have him up in the booth with us, and maybe he'll teach us something. I'm sure he will.
You know for a fact that he will, Chris. Those guys do a really good job. I think that's one of the better iRacing podcasts that's out there right now. Unfortunately, like you said, they have cut back a little bit, but when they do put them out, it is still great. So definitely look them up and follow them. Great place to find some good information and just have a good time on iRacing.
And we are back, Green Flag Racing. I was just checking to verify. After tonight, we've only got 4 more weeks of the season. So the season's really starting to wind down here at Racing for a Cause. And next week, next Wednesday, these late model cars head to Thompson for 100 laps, then New Smyrna, Stafford, and we end it at New Hampshire for the season finale. A 100-mile event to finish off the season here with the late models. And, man, under caution again. I do want to throw this out here right now. Chris Mefford shown as the standings leader, the 44 car, having a tough night of it so far tonight. His teammate Troy Radford running second. Pat Smith, after a very strong performance last week, vaulted up to third. And really, he's only 28 points behind Troy Radford. So depending on how they do tonight, it could make a very big difference.
That's very true, Chris. And looks like our Monday night series, we're getting close to finishing that one also. Next week, like I said, we're going to Charlotte at night for 150 laps in the Coca-Cola 150. That's going to be 225 miles. The Monday after that, July 31st, we're going to be heading to Dover for the Miller 125. That's going to be a 125-mile race. And August 7th, we'll be going to Pocono, beautiful Pocono Mountains. Drivers, if you watch this broadcast throughout the week, just to remind you that I did put the setup for Pocono up in our Facebook page, so make sure you grab that and practice with it. And then we finish the season on August 14th with the Miller 100 at Michigan, Chris. That's 100 laps, 200 miles on that speedway. It's going to be a great time.
100 laps at Michigan, man, that's going to be fun.
Right now, the top 10 in points in the K&N, Dustin German retook first position with his win there last week. Troy Radford second, Joshua Spalding third, Steve Baker fourth, Chris Mefford fifth, Andrew Hill sixth. Thomas Quattlebaum Jr. moved up 2 spots to the 7th position, Gerald West in 8th, Ryan Nolan in 9th, and rounding out the top 10 is Andy Lambert.
So, season is starting to wind down. Plans for next season starting to happen already. One of the biggest plans we've got. Oh man, Rick, I can't even believe I'm about to say this. 500 miles Daytona International Speedway to celebrate 1 year in operation. Racing for a Cause going to be doing a special event. 500 miles at Daytona. Guys, that one will not be broadcasted. Rick and I fully intend on racing it. If you want to see the action, get in with us now, because we're definitely going to have a full field. Nicky Z in the 93-year leader. He is setting the pace. The pace car lights are off, getting ready to drop down into pit road. We're getting ready to go green flag racing. We're going to start lap 92 of 150. Nicky Z 93, Pat Smith on the outside, and they go green flag racing on the inside of Pat Smith already. Jason Garrett in the 73 having a pretty decent run of it, and he's looking to kind of get up front. And right behind him, his teammate, the 94, that's Troy Radford.
And right behind Troy Radford, Chris, is the other teammate, Chris Mefford in the 44 machine. So GMR Motorsports having a really good showing. They're really starting to get up there, and the 94 just gave the 75 a little bump to get him out of the way. We'll see what happens there, but right now Pat's hanging on.
A bump again and almost saves it. The 75 almost saves it. But boy, is he falling back now, and that's a big one. That's a very big one. Lots of damaged cars. Unhappy driver in that number 75 car right now. And I hate to say it, but the 60 car also tied up into that one. 60 car on fire. And it is definitely beat up. That may be the end right there for the spina bifida number 60, Justin Pinnell, here tonight. A lot of cars torn up in that one. And like I said, unfortunately, it looks like the spina bifida number 60 got the full brunt of it, as that car is smoking heavily. And up front, you've got the 93 leading the way. Has led 10 laps on his outside. It's going to be Fluffy. Fluffy in the 73. He's going to try and lead a lap on the inside, second row. T. Roy Radford outside. In fourth position is going to be Chris Mefford. So top 4 cars, 3 cars from Team GMR. Strong showing out there right now. When we go back green flag racing, we will be 2/3 of the way done with this. 2/3 of the way, 100 laps of 150. Right now sitting on 98, getting ready to start on 9. JP, that was just wrong place, wrong time, bud. Very sorry to see that. I want to throw a special shout out to our 10th place runner right now, Phil Otto. Phil Otto is the guy that makes us international. He's an Aussie, and he chose to come race with us here. Nicky Z in the 93 starts it off, and he takes a huge lead. Fluffy Garrett trying to keep up with him, but 93 car is running on rails right now. Troy Radford third. So it's Garrett, Radford, Mefford, second, third, fourth. All cars from GMR. Brian Rogers going to be looking from back in fifth, trying to break it up a little bit as we're under the caution again. That may have been the 51 car, Rick.
Yeah, I'm going back to the replay now to see what happened there, Chris.
Lots of banged up cars out there tonight. Short track racing at its finest. And if you don't believe me, go down to your short track. Get some late models out there. Throw 24 of them on a very, very short track. There it is. Not even a full 4/10 of a mile. And we threw 24 cars at it tonight. And these guys are doing very excellent as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it looks like the 12 and the 51 there just ran out of room, Chris, and one of them got caused to spin. JP, you did a good job, man. You did the best that you possibly could.
Your top 5 again. We got Nick Z in the 93, Jason Garrett in the 73, Chris Mefford in the 44, T. Roy Radford in the 94. I believe that scoring is wrong. I believe it's the other way. I believe Troy Radford's actually in third. There we go. That's better. Chris Mefford fourth, and Brian Rogers Jr. running fifth. That's your top 5 as we get ready to go back green flag racing. This time around, pace car light should go off, and we're going to have 44 laps to go.
Nicky Z has some stiff competition out there, Chris. Fluffy Garrett starting out and is outside in that number 73 Cat Machine. You got right behind Nicky Z and that number 94 T. Roy Radford, and the other GMR car right next to the 94, the number 44 Chris Mefford. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. He's definitely got to hit the right spot at the right time there to keep this lead. It's going to be interesting. And here they go.
Yeah, Nicky Z not wasting any time. Right to the accelerator with him. Jason Garrett trying to stick to his back bumper. Troy Radford may be in for some trouble, although it looks like, I think Chris Mefford, yeah, he did. He touched the wall. You see the damage on that right fender. So Chris Mefford pushing very hard, got into the wall just a little bit, and you see how hard he got onto the brakes. You saw that nose dive down. Troy Radford on his inside. Chris Mefford, really no place to go. What he's trying to stop is Brian Rogers from getting on his inside, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Off the wall again, Chris Mefford having a terrible time with that car right now. Ill handling number 44.
Yeah, these cars are so tight as it is, Chris, as they're on that outside lane there. It does nothing but push up towards that outside wall. Right now, Chris Mefford is just praying for a little break in the action so that way he can scoot down to where he wants to go on the inside lane.
And I don't know if he's going to get it right now. The 10 car, Brian Rogers, on his inside, right behind him, just waiting to see what's going to happen. The 35 car, Andy Lambert, holding his line very nicely. I don't know what's changed on that car, but earlier he was getting very, very tight. Now he seems to be cornering that car very nice. And Chris Mefford finally able to get out in front of Brian Rogers and scoot that car down. So good job from Chris Mefford saving his position up front. Nicky Z with a nice 0.3 of a second lead over Jason Fluffy Garrett. We'll go through the field. 94 car running third. That's Troy Radford. The 44, we just talked about him. That's Chris Mefford. The 10 car, Brian Rogers running fifth. And in sixth place, just outside the top five, Andy Lambert. And the 12 car, AJ Rogers. The 52 car, that's Chris Rummel. Go back just a little way. Laura, there's your boy. He's running ninth. Peyton in that 85. Love, peace, and bacon grease. I kind of like that saying. I may have to use it. And rounding out your top 10, Jeff Watson. And there's our Aussie right there, Phil Otto in the 66 car. He's running 11th right now. Pat Smith in the 75. You saw the incident he was involved in earlier. Has worked his way back up to 12th. Brian Hacker in the 11. He's running 13th. Steve Baker in the 55 running 14th right now. Tommy Q. Thomas Quattlebaum Jr. in that 34. He's running 15th. Sean Cool, who did start off the race as your leader, having a very tough night of it after leading 29 laps, now running 16th position. Chase Swafford in the 38, involved in a couple. You see him touch the wall right there, that ill-handling car. He's running 17th right now. And there he is, JP, unfortunately, in the pits. Doug Wasaki out on the track, trying to gain some positions. If he is able to finish this race, it looks like he will actually pass JP in the standings. So Doug's trying to go for a 19th place finish. And we are out front again. Looks like Nicky Z in the 93 really starting to pull away now. That gap, 0.7 of a second. And you see right now the 2 car just ahead of the leader, Sean Cool. And he stays up nice and high for the leader. That's very, very good driving. Very heads-up driving. Let's see if he's that nice to Jason Garrett. And he is. He stays up right where he belongs. That's awesome. You got anything on your radar, Rick, that you're watching?
Not really, Chris. Right now, I'm just watching Peyton Johnson in that 85 machine. I just love that paint scheme. It's very eye-catching. Laura, you definitely did a great job on that. I congratulate you as a painter. That is amazing work. It's really fun to watch you going around the track. These guys here in the back are just kind of spread out, Chris. Not really much going on. They're just ticking off the laps. We only have a few more to go. We're at lap 122 right now of 150.
Yeah, now they're really starting to click off. Now that the field's thinned out, and we had mentioned it earlier, there's a reason why we cut the field down. You see Chris Mefford backed into the wall. That's going to bring out caution. Chris Mefford backed into the wall there. We're going to take a peek and see what happened there. And that car is heavily damaged. The engine is smoking. Let's take a peek. So we see him right here working the 2 car. That's a lap down car. And looks like he had to get on the binders a little bit. And don't want to speculate, but that didn't look so good. Chris Mefford into the wall. It looks like he had some help. And the one that didn't want to see that caution, the 93 car. Nick did not want to see that caution. He had a very, very nice interval going between him and second place car, Jason Garrett. And that is gone now as we get ready to start lap. Yeah, I guess we're on, 126. So we have only got 24 laps to go, and Nick really did not want to see that. Jason Garrett in second place. He did. That gap definitely closed up. Unfortunately for Jason Garrett, if he doesn't get another good start, Troy Radford's going to be starting inside second row. And as we've said before, and we'll continue to say it, especially on this track, the inside line's where you want to be if you want to pass. So Troy has got some work to do, maybe try and get around his teammate of Jason Garrett.
I don't want to say that was intentional, Chris. That might have been just a racing incident where he wasn't clear and he thought he was. Not exactly sure there, or he had a mechanical failure there with his wheel with the number 2. But yeah, that's why we're under caution.
Well, nonetheless, we're going to come around one more time. Cars are already starting to double up. That means they're getting ready to go back to green flag. This track has brought a lot of excitement. I don't think that we're done yet. T-Roy out there, third place. He's going to be watching that 93 car. As soon as the 93 goes, you know Troy's going to be on the gas pedal. The 73 may be a sitting duck out there in second place.
Well, one place that Nicky Z has done a really well job tonight, Chris, it is on these restarts, so he might be able to pull away again if he just gets on it at the right time like he has been doing. I'm sure he's sitting there giving himself a little pep talk in his head, trying to figure out what he's going to do, but he already knows what to do, so it's going to be real interesting. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, as he pulls away, and Troy Radford actually lost a position so far on that restart, so Troy on the inside so far has lost a position. He's battling, though. He's still in the contention for third. The 52 car, Chris Rummel, right behind. And I think we're going to see something we haven't seen much of right now. Brian Rogers Jr. in the 10 car successfully passing the 94. Beautiful pass by Brian Rogers.
I'm wondering if Troy is just holding back a little bit there in that 94 machine, trying to conserve the tires the best he can to make a run for it as we knock down and get a little bit closer to the finish, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer he's going to want to conserve. Lap 135 right now of 150. That means 15 more laps, and this one's going to be done. Nick Z out front in the 93 car, 0.5 of a second interval right now, back to second place, and that's Jason Garrett in that cat car. Brian Rogers in third place in the 10. Got a little bit of work to do to try and catch them. Troy Radford is all over his bumper, though.
For the people watching on the stream there, I might have thought I was a little crazy there. I was still in review mode there, so I wasn't live, but Nicky Z in the 93 is doing just what I said he was going to do without me even seeing it. He's got a heck of a lead going right now. Let's see if Fluffy Garrett can do anything with that. Right now we only have 12 cars on the lead lap, Chris. The first car a lap down, Tom Quattlebaum Jr. in 34. He's actually sitting 4 laps down. Chris Mefford is 8 laps down.
Okay, Chris Mefford in the 44 at least made it back out on track to try and finish this one. But right now the story is that 93 car, Nicky Z, has led 51 laps of this race. In about 6 more laps, he will become the guy that has led the most laps right now, sitting on Brian Hacker at 57. Nicky Z led 52 now, coming around to lead 53. So Nick's doing a great job. It's been a very good battle. And like I said, I don't believe it's done yet.
Well, we've all seen Jason Fluffy Garrett in that 73 be right in this same predicament multiple times, Chris. Usually he can pull it off, so he might be doing the same thing. He's just kind of taking it easy, saving those tires for what he can do. We only have a few laps left here as we're working on lap 143 of 150. So if he's going to make a move, he's going to have to do it soon, but I wouldn't count him out yet.
And I want to throw a shout out to Patrick Smith in 75. Was running up front, had a little trouble, and has made his way back up into 10th position, I believe. He is ahead of Phil Otto, but for some reason scoring is not keeping up with him. So I believe he is running 10th right now in front of Phil Otto.
From what I'm looking at, Phil Otto in the 66 machine's actually in front of the 75, Chris.
Interesting. Okay, well, back up front. Well, Nicky Z in the 93, 0.5 of a second lead. You see Chris Mefford pulling up out of the way, letting the leaders by. Out back, you see third place runner Brian Rogers Jr. actually starting to open up a pretty good gap himself over Troy Radford. Troy Radford in the 94 car. He's got the 12 car right behind him for position, trying to get to that top 4 spot. Just a couple of laps to go. We'll focus in on the leader. And you see that gap actually starting to close. Jason Garrett may have been saving just a little bit. Is that gap down to 0.3 of a second now? Not enough though, as Nicky Z in the 93 is your race winner. Right behind him, Jason Garrett. Brian Rogers comes home third. Troy Radford going to be fourth. AJ Rogers fifth to finish off your top 5. Great run from Nicky Z. Ends up leading 63 laps here at South Boston. Very, very good run. And you're pretty sure he's going to be burning the house down. Great win for him. And really look forward to talking to the top 3. That's just around the corner. We'll throw some music on as we get ready for some interviews.
It's going to take just a few seconds here, Chris. It looks like our Brian Rogers, third place finisher, is trying to get into TeamSpeak right now.
Okay, we'll hold off. As we're waiting, we're going to go through the results. There it is. There's your top 10. Your winner tonight again, the 93 car. Nicky Z in that 93 car. Jason Fluffy Garrett battles back to second place. Brian Rogers in the 10 coming home third. T-Roy Radford, 94 car, coming home fourth. AJ Rogers finishes off the top 5. Chris Rummel in the 52 car comes home sixth. Andy Lambert in the 35, 7th. Jeff Watson in that 51 car coming home 8th. And Peyton Johnson, great run for him. He's coming home 9th tonight. Phil Otto, the Aussie. That's the 66 car coming home 10th tonight. Pat McSwain coming home 11th. Tommy Quattlebaum Jr. He comes home 12th in that 34 car. Chris Mefford ends up 13th. Steve Baker 14th. Brian Hacker 15th. Doug Wasaki 16th, Sean Cool 17th, Chase Swafford 18th, Stacy Bedard 19th, and JP Justin Pinnell comes home 20th. 21st, AJ Hamill 22nd, Rick Greenaway after popping a motor very early in this race. 23rd position, Al Smith Jr. in that 02. And 24th, and that, actually, it looks like Rowdy Johnson did not take the start of this one, so we actually started 23rd, or 23 cars rather. Rowdy Johnson, Justin McDuff, David Bachman, Jason Perry failing to make qualifying for tonight's race, and that is the results. Still waiting on one to come in, and that's Brian Rogers Jr., but, you know what? I think we just got to keep moving, Rick. I think we're going to just move on to second place, and that's Jason Garrett. Oh, boom, just like that. I see Brian Rogers coming into the team speak. Brian Rogers in the 12 car, coming home third tonight. Brian, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, bud. Nice third place run tonight in that 10 car. How did the race go for you? I know there were some issues early on. Did that interrupt your train of thought at all?
It did in the beginning. My train of thought was just take it easy because I knew it was going to be survival of the fittest. Got shoved around a little bit, but I just kept my cool and drove, and I ended up being up front at the end.
Well, that's all it takes, bud. You did a great job. Is there anybody out there you want to thank?
I got to thank all my guys from Upstate Racing, AJ, Sean Cool, Al Smith Jr., and all those guys.
All right, bud. Hey, listen, congratulations. Top 3. That's not too shabby here at South Boston. I would take it. That's Brian. There you go, bud. That's Brian Rogers. Finishing third tonight in the 10 car. Thank you very much for Brian for hopping in TeamSpeak so we could talk to you. In second place tonight, the 73. We call him Fluffy. You guys know him as Jason Garrett. That's the cat car. Jason Garrett, do you have a copy with Chris and Rick up in the booth?
Yes, sir. How's it going, fellas?
Hey, bud, doing good. Listen, I know you have a good weekend coming ahead of you. I hear that you might be working another track that wasn't South Boston. But tonight you came home second in that 73 car. We watched you fall back. We watched you come forward. How many more laps did you need to be able to catch Nick? Because I saw you were starting to catch him at the end.
It's hard to say. I mean, right there at the end, his tires were going away, and I had no drive off. He was loose in, I was loose off, so it was kind of a catch-22. I mean, I don't know if I'd ever got around him, but I'd have sure put up a fight.
Well, you did a good job, bud. You're there week in and week out, so good job. You finished second, so congratulations. Anybody out there you want to thank?
Thank the boys at GMR Motorsports for the time we put in, the cars we build, and you guys for putting all this on and doing the broadcast, and all the fans out there for watching.
There you go. That's Jason Fluffy Garrett, the 73 car, the cat car that was out there, that yellow 73. Great job from him tonight, coming home second. But your winner tonight, the 93. Nicky Z in that 93, coming home first place. Nick, this is Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
I do.
Well, Nick, first things first. Congratulations on the win, but I've got to ask you, how do you pronounce the last name? Zotner. I'm still not going to do it. You're always going to be Nicky Z in the 93 to me, but it's good to know. But you ended up leading 63 of the 150 laps. Really, it looked like a caution is what got you up there. Would you have gotten there anyway?
I caught new tires at the right time and missed a couple of the big wrecks and just put myself in a position to get there.
In the car, did that feel okay to you?
Yeah, I've been working a lot with GMR, and that really helped this week.
I know they do a lot of practices. I'm glad that you were able to take advantage of that, and you definitely were. So if you were working with GMR, it looks like on affiliation basis, GMR would be in the top 4 tonight, 3 cars. So definitely it works to put in your time, and congratulations again on your win, Rick.
Yeah, man, congratulations. You definitely poured it on tonight. Congratulations. I love your paint job. You're racing for Team Pink, so that's awesome, man. Thank you for having a cause in your car. Is there anybody out there you want to thank besides GMR?
No, just GMR. They really helped me this week. I got a lot of laps here, and it really helped. in the late end of the race.
That's fabulous. Well, yeah, those guys definitely, you know, they practice hard week in and week out, and it shows. So congratulations on your win tonight.
I guess.
That's Nicky Z in the 93, your race winner tonight, leading 63 laps. That's a pretty strong run here at South Boston. Guys, I want to thank you all again for coming out and watching tonight. And want to mention again, August 3rd and 4th, the Dog Days 250 happening at Bristol, the super late models. And I think that's about it, other than Friday night TRRL coming at you in the trucks at Daytona. Rick, that's got to put a smile on your face.
Well, it would be a little bit better if I was driving in it, but hey, broadcasting is the next best thing, Chris. It's a great week to finish out the work week, so I can't wait to hit that broadcast there with the Thunder Road Racing League. They're still looking for drivers, so if guys are interested in driving trucks, look up Bucky Burt on Facebook. His last name is BIRT, and also look up for the TRL Challenge, also on Facebook, and the League on iRacing.
And there you have it. That's it from South Boston. Thank you for joining us on Racing for a Cause TV, bringing you the late model cars from Racing for a Cause. We really do appreciate it, and we can't wait to see you guys Friday night. Thank you very much for coming out. Have a good night.